luckiest man in the world, Dan Foo-Foo-Ford. Today through Thursday, ladies and gentlemen, we're showing each day one finalist in our Screensavers Mod Project contest. This Thursday, it will be your turn after the show to help us decide of those four which one's going to be the grand prize winner, win the trip to San Francisco to appear on the show, and the big prize, the $10,000 Versa laser. Oh, I want that prize. That's a modder's dream come true. Now, remember we showed you the Millennium Falcon yesterday. Very cool. What do we have today, Yoshi?
Well, today we have a portable PlayStation.
If we can get away from Pat.
Yeah. Patrick's going to have to give it up. Basically, you know, everyone likes PlayStations, right?
Yeah. This is so amazing. Look at this.
David Kaplish built this portable PlayStation. It's, you know, there's been a couple other portables done before, but he did a very, very, very clean job of doing it. You can see we have Gran Turismo playing here, all the standard controls. Has a controller port there for a second controller, so you can play two-player.
Cool.
It does have all the video out, so you can hook it up to your TV still, audio out.
It's the same.
It's the same exact stuff
as a PlayStation 1, except the form factor.
Except for the form factor. You know, where you say, where do you change your discs?
Watch this though.
Well,
I love this.
Awesome. Your discs are right under the screen.
That is so cool.
So you just pop it up there.
Right.
Your L2, you know, R2, L1, R1 buttons, right here on the back.
So all the buttons for the controller.
It's also got battery-powered camcorder
battery. That's very cool.
So you can.
How hard is that to get the power supply to be supported to support a camcorder battery? Is that a tricky? I
haven't personally done this mod, so I believe it's just the voltage. You just have to convert the voltage over. So it shouldn't be too difficult. It's just a matter of, you know, hey, it happened to run off a small enough voltage that these fit.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, you can plug a car battery into your notebook if you
have the right converters.
Yeah.
You know, the real question is how he got the case to look this cool.
Well, we're bring up a still. We have an example of the clay model he made everything. Before he did it, he had to make this clay model. So he made the model of how the controller would work, how the screen would sit, and he just carved it out of clay himself. We want to know he did all this himself in his garage. You know, no factories here. This is all homemade. Then he did vacuum molding. Same kind of way like all the Star Wars guys make their armor. So they mold the plastic down over the clay.
So the clay is underneath that?
Yeah, that's how they do that.
And then it's suction that's getting the plastic.
It's heat and suction, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wow, that's so cool.
And then,
and what it does is it gives you a very nice, smooth,
pretty much
whatever line you couldn't really do any other way.
Whatever you had in your model, that's what's going to be there.
It's really, and the clay doesn't get deformed by the suction process, I guess.
No, not at all. You probably heat the clay up a little bit, maybe dry it a little bit. We have another shot there that has some of the details, just to give people an example of how much wiring and moving stuff around was actually had to be done here.
So basically, gutted a PlayStation and put it inside.
Gutted a PlayStation, put it inside there. Gutted the drive. I mean, it's all apart too.
Right. And the controller. I mean, this is an actual. It looks like an actual Sony controller embedded in there.
Yeah, that's what it is. He just took the top half, all the buttons, all the guts, got it all up in here.
This is an example of something that is probably not as flashy, say, as the Millennium Falcon, but for a modder, you look at this and you go, I know what it involved.
Yeah, I mean,
this was a major mod.
I think this is pretty cool. I have tons of PS1 games, and this is pretty portable, very playable. Hey, I want a car trip. Someone else can play with the Xbox I have in my car, and someone can play with this.
You know? How cool is that? It looks like an overgrown Game Boy kind of. It's kind of
but Game Boys are a little lower res than the PlayStation.
What about this screen? Where does he get that?
That's actually a Sony screen. Sony made these screens so people can, not have a TV and still play with their PlayStation.
So he gutted that as well.
Yeah. So all these parts were OEM parts that he took from Sony's, available accessories.
Except for this.
Except for that. Well, that's actually a Sony camcorder battery.
Oh. So it was a Sony part, just not intended for a PlayStation.
I don't think he necessarily had to go Sony. He just happened to go use that.
Wow, that's amazing.
Very cool.
Yes, very, very, very cool.
Make sure to tune in to
Turn it off.
Well, let's credit him again. What's his name?
David Kaplish.
David Kaplish. Nice job, David.
Yeah.
Nice job, David.
Finalist number 2.
Finalist number 3 is coming up tomorrow, so definitely tune into the show to see that. Details about the whole contest up at thescreensavers.com. Keep watching because you'll get to vote on your favorite of the 4
Now, who gets to keep this after the show's over?
I was hoping he'd let me keep it, but I don't think so.
No, I think this is a great. We'd love to.